Like the Fed done dug us into some crap, huh? So, you guys listen to this article. This article would be pinned in the comment down below if you want to take the time out to read it for yourself. I would like to thank you all for tuning in. If you're new here, please go ahead and consider subscribing. And if you've been here before, I want to thank you for coming back. Now, let's see what they're talking about. A soaring U.S. dollar will force the Fed to pivot away from its interest rate hikes, but that won't be enough to prevent an earnings recession. All right, so the Fed, they've been raising the interest rates over and over and over and over just to leave everybody stuck in dirt. But they were saying raising the interest rates would solve the problem. But I think that they're sort of kind of regretting it now. So here are the key points. The Federal Reserve will likely follow in the Bank of England's footsteps and pivot, according to Morgan Stanley. The bank said global U.S. dollar liquidity is now in the danger zone where bad stuff happens. But stock investors shouldn't be too excited by any Fed pivot because an earnings recession is imminent. So be careful. It appears increasingly likely that the Federal Reserve will pivot away from its currently hawkish monetary policy as global U.S. dollar liquidity is now in its danger zone where bad stuff happens. They were so hot on their plan, saying we're going to get out of this. But who can you really trust? Who can you honestly trust? Now we're in the danger zone where bad stuff happens. Pay attention to these words, that they're writing in these little articles, because I'm not going to say it's all bull, because there is some, when I say some, there is some truth and clues in these articles. Just like the Bank of England had to intervene last week by purchasing long-dated bonds to stem soaring gilt yields, the Fed will also likely have to intervene in a similar fashion, whether that means a pause in rate hikes or full-out quantitative easing. The first question to ask is, when does the U.S. dollar become a U.S. problem? Nobody knows, but more price action of the kind we've been experiencing will eventually get the Fed to back off. Now they're saying, but investors shouldn't put too much stock into potential pivot by the Fed. That's because an earnings recession is imminent and potential stock market downside from a sizable earnings decline will likely outweigh the potential upside from a Fed pivot regardless. Now, when it comes down to the stock market, I'm not too knowledgeable, let's say, about the stock market. But I hear that the numbers are down. And then I will hear that, a certain company that you should invest in that's gone up. But I hear that the stock market is not doing so good. But for more of you people that's knowledgeable on the stock market, let us know more about that in the comments down below. But when it comes down to these interest rates, I think that the Fed done raised interest rates maybe about 6 times already. I think it's about 6 times already, going on the 7th time it's supposed to be raised again sometime in December before the new year start. I think it's been being raised by 0.75% or something like that. But the point is, it keep rising. And what is happening now? Now they're looking back and saying, oh, wow, well, I don't think that we're going in the right direction. No, really. Look how many layoffs there are. Look how many companies that are closing. I don't know how long this recession is going to last or how long it becomes more than just a recession. But I know whatever's going on and whatever that they're trying to do, I always say they're sticking to the plan regardless. It's definitely heading downwards, guys. And you guys need to focus more so on, I think Tonette mentioned this in the comments, gold and silver isn't going to feed your family, or a few people actually. It's not going to feed your family, but you see a lot of people on YouTube saying, invest in gold, invest in silver, and stuff like that. But if the economy crash, right, certain things become useless. So even your dollar, it becomes useless if you don't already have the items prepared. If you're not already prepared, how would you really, survive? You can't go trade in silver and gold when it becomes useless to the next person, because what are they going to do with it? I could be wrong. So just drop it down in the comments and let us know, what is the silver and gold going to do for us when all of this goes down? Let's just continue on with the article. According to Wilson, the earning decline will be driven by several macro risks that companies have been forced to navigate in recent months, including China's COVID lockdown, a surge in US dollar, higher interest rates, and weakness in Europe's economy. We suspect the uncertainty that these factors foster will lead to both guidance pulls and lowered guidance, both headwinds for forward earnings estimates. And the expected decline in earnings expectations could be big because so far, forward earnings estimates have fallen by just 1% since mid-June. It takes a long time for next 12 months EPS to fall for the S&P 500 because it's a very high quality, diversified index, and companies are loath to throw in the towel on the future quarters until they have to. It appears that more companies are reaching a point where they can't fight it anymore. So that's when you come in to see the more layoffs, more companies just closing. It becomes a lot. Bottom line, in the absence of a Fed pivot, stocks are likely headed lower. Conversely, a Fed pivot or the anticipation of one can lead to a sharp rally, especially because we are so oversold. Just keep in mind that the light at the end of the tunnel you might see if that happens is actually the freight train of the oncoming earnings recession that the Fed cannot stop at this point. So we in some deep bubbles. I'm going to say bubbles because all of their bubbles are getting popped at this moment. But they knew what they was doing. They was heading the U.S. economy up the right path as they say they were. This is going to help us, But now look at this. This is not good, guys. It is not good. And I urge everyone to prepare. Stock up. Start looking for items that you can possibly barter, items that you probably usually wouldn't stock up on. Like if you're a person who probably don't really use sugar, so you don't stock up on that much sugar, get some sugar, put them things in like the little 1 pound miler bags. You can use those as barter items. A lot of items can be used as barter items. Like me, for instance, I've never drinking alcohol a day in my life, but alcohol is a great barter item. I do not smoke at all, but smokes are a great barter item, believe it or not. First aid supplies, great barter item. Take on a trade, learn how to do something new. Because honestly, they don't. I'm not gonna say they don't know what they're doing, because they possibly can be doing things intentionally. And everybody are for themselves. I'm not going to say everybody is going to be for themselves, but everybody is practically for themselves at this point. Trying to really find the truth is like trying to find the needle that's thrown in a bunch of thread. Or actually just trying to, needle that, thread the needle. That's what you say. I have a hard time trying to thread the needle. It's like trying to find the truth out of these people. You guys, that's the end of this article. Like I said, it would be in a pinned comment down below if you guys want to check it out. It would be there for you guys. This is Shauna. I'm officially checking out from Moments with Us because some of the stories that I wake up and read, y'all can see on the top of my screen. It's 5:13 in the morning. This is how I start my mornings. I get up, get my cup of coffee, and I start seeing what's going on. Though I don't share the readings every day like I should. We're definitely going to try to get back to that, doing our early morning readings. And I hope this is something that you all would enjoy because you get to chime in, drop your opinions down in the comments, of course. And this will actually be great for our Saturdays news, comments, and reports because guess what? More of you guys' opinions would be put in the comments. So yes, this is it. I already said this is Shauna, and yes, I'm checking out for Moments with Us. I'm glad that you all came along. For whoever decided to watch this video, make sure that you all stay prepped, stay blessed, stay safe, and if you're not woken up, wake up. We can see where this is going. Yes, we can. Make sure you all remain beautiful queens and kings as well. I'm officially out of here until next time.